What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Woe with Signs Entertainment, and today we're going to talk about compatibility. We're going to talk about Capricorn and Aquarius. We're going to see if they're a good match, if they can relate to each other, if in love they can actually make this thing work or not. But I want to start off by saying any couple, any sign, any element can make it work. It's just about the effort we put into and our will to do so. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Remember that. But there's a lot of factors that make it easier or more difficult. So let's get right into it. Capricorn is an earth sign, and they're a cardinal earth sign. Aquarius is an air sign, and they're a fixed air sign. So cardinal and fixed are different modalities within astrology. And pretty much the modality just tells you about the nature in which this person acts, essentially. And a fixed modality is an individual who is pretty consistent with their beliefs and their opinion. And once they stand for something, they pretty much go hard for that. And that's what they're about. They're fixed on it. Fixated. They don't move, they don't budge, or it's much more difficult for them to do so in whatever that area is in their lives. And, and Aquarius is a fixed sign, and it's fixed air. Air signs are much more in their head than earth signs and any of the other signs, but definitely more than earth signs. They're more logical thinkers. They're more, let me not express myself immediately. Let me think about it first and decide what I'm going to do. Or naturally, I'm just going to think about it and leave it there. So their form of expression will be one of logic, will be one of reasoning and mental understanding. And a Capricorn is going to be a cardinal earth sign. And cardinal modality means that these individuals are ready to go. They are ready to, if they have a thought, an idea, a belief, they're ready to put it into practice. These are the people who will step first. Back in the day when you used to wreck or you used to fight, you got the people who wait for someone else to throw the punch, or you got the people who would just try to knock you out first. Cardinal signs, they come with a knockout, so be ready. Earth signs are much different than air signs. They're much more practical in their approach, meaning they focus on the reality, the world in which they live in, the material world, and they take step-by-step processes in order to do whatever they feel needs to be done, or that's how they live their life. That's how they live their lives. Very methodically and practically, opposed to logically and using reason for everything. Most astrologers will tell you that air signs and fire signs mesh well together as far as like air, fuel, and fire. And then they'll also tell you that earth and water mesh well together. And there are certain principles within the different signs that make this a reality, but ultimately there are so many things in your birth and your natal chart that can really distract this theory. If you are an air sign like an Aquarius, but you have a lot of earth in your chart, like maybe your rising is in Taurus or your moon is in Taurus, then you're going to be much more grounded and much more practical than a typical Aquarius, or an Aquarius who has more air or more fire in their chart. Air is much more communicative, is much more social than the other elements, and definitely more than earth. Air is about socializing, understanding the mind, and things of that nature. So an air sign already thinks differently. And then you have a fixed air sign. And this is going to be, an Aquarius is going to be a rebellious person who's constantly thinking and using their mind. And one of the things they aim to do is to be a humanitarian, to help, to aid to social justice. But the ironic thing is that it's coming from an external viewpoint. It's coming from the outside looking in. The thing about Aquarius is, although they care for people and the earth and humanity on a general level, intimately, they are not the most comfortable there. Personal relationships, they slightly might struggle with, because they're like spectators or observers looking in, trying to make sure that everyone inside is taken care of. But when it comes to the expression of what's inside oneself, that's where Aquarius is, like I said, I'm not the most comfortable. This is a very logical sign with a rebellious mentality who wants the best for everyone, but doesn't know how to intimately express that to the people they're close with. And Aquarius really are about having friends. They're about having connections with people who understand them and people who accept them for who they are. That's very important for an Aquarius, to be accepted for who you are and to be understood by the people closest to you. When an Aquarius isn't accepted for who they are or isn't understood, they're not comfortable, they're not okay. They already have a hard time dealing with intimate and personal feelings. So when you don't know who the person is and you're trying to address them and trying to rule their life, and remember, this is the fixed rebellious sign. So if you don't really know them, but you're trying to rule their life or give them some direction, then that's not going to turn out well for anyone dealing with an Aquarius, because they want more than anything. They want freedom, they want friendship, and they want to be understood. They're very unique, can be very eclectic, and are not about following the rules. If anything, they're about doing the opposite. And this doesn't mean they're bad people, because like I said, they're humanitarians, but they are about going about their own way in order to live their best life. And air signs typically are more about freedom. They stress less, because they just don't, they think about it and they're like, okay, how I feel is this way, but I need to be this way for this situation. So it's very beneficial. If you're talking to a water sign, they may be like, I'm not getting nothing from this person, I don't understand. But there's beauty in everything, because when you need a good time, when you need to be left alone, an Aquarius would understand you. Most air signs will, but an Aquarius will really understand you and give you that freedom and not take it personal and not stress you about it. So let's say you come back feeling better, in a better mood, your Aquarius will be right there, or maybe not there, but they will be there here. That mental connection. I feel you, baby. I feel you. No, but it's very interesting because Capricorn, they are a very stoic-like sign. Capricorns are very interested in their own success. They're ruled by Saturn. And I did want to say this real quick. The traditional ruler of Aquarius was Saturn, but as Uranus was discovered, the more modern ruler is Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of, like I said, just difference, rebellion, uniqueness. And Saturn is more of like a father figure. Saturn is more about learning, going through life in order to get to your destination, but learning and going through obstacles and struggles along the way. So an Aquarius is a very complex individual. So is Capricorn technically. But an Aquarius, unlike the other air signs, can kind of buckle down and be a little more serious, or at least focused on their goal, on what they're trying to accomplish, because they have that slight rulership by Saturn a little bit. So this works in favor with this relationship. But just to go back, the Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And the Capricorn is more about reaching success in a very practical way. A Capricorn understands that a step-by-step process on a continuous basis gets you to where you want to be. And if they don't already know that innately, they learn that throughout their lifetime. That's the thing about Capricorn. So Capricorn is always a sign that's learning, but more through hands-on experience from continuous repetition of trying to get to that place of success. And this is a beautiful thing. It's almost inevitable for them in their lifetime to reach success. It's just about what they go through to get there. And Aquarius reaches success technically when they are mentally liberated, when they feel like they are doing what they want to do in life and they're progressing in that and learning along the way. And if they have a friend that they connect with throughout their lifetime, then, that's just a beautiful, ideal life for an Aquarian. Personally, I think Aquarius are some of the funniest people I've ever met. I have not met an Aquarius that I can't laugh with. Seriously. And, they like to make sure that it's a good vibe. They will leave or they will dip on you if they're uncomfortable because, like I said, air can be a little here or there. They're not as flighty as the other air signs. No offense, Gemini and Libra, or at least the consensus on them. Even though Gemini, y'all got things to work on. But no, all seriousness, Aquarius, they will bounce if they're not okay, if they're mentally uncomfortable and they feel like they're not understood. Very important for them. Capricorns, if you feel like you're halting their success, they will bounce. They will leave. Capricorn is a very... and similar to Aquarius, actually, they're not the most expressive with their emotions. Everyone has emotions, right? That's the thing. But these two signs don't really like to express it. Capricorn does not want to seem weak or vulnerable or like they need help in any capacity. Capricorns very much want to be in charge of their own lifestyle and of their own life. Similar to Aquarius, actually. Capricorns are naturally going to be more physical. They're an earth sign. So, they're more grounded in this world we live in. So physically, they may need or require a little bit more than Aquarius might naturally want to give if it's a traditional Aquarius. But ultimately, Capricorn's main thing is to continue to work. They're not going to stop working. Everything is going to be a practical approach to get to that destination which they deem success. And they don't really want help along the way. Typically, most astrologers would tell you that Capricorns need a sign that is willing to help without you asking them to do so. A sign that is going to genuinely care about you and try to provide those needs for you without you deliberately telling them this is what you want. And in a sense, that's true. My rising is a Capricorn, so I can vouch for that. Like, I can't stop. Like, I always got to go. I got to be productive. The thing about Capricorns, and we're talking about Capricorn suns here, but this can apply to your moon or to your Venus if the other person who you're interested in or has your interest has Capricorn or Aquarius sign. But this is for sun to sun compatibility. And for the most part, this is true. But like I said, there are limitations and then there are exceptions to every single situation, because if this Capricorn, right, has maybe an air moon, they might be much more understanding of the Aquarius and may not need somebody to necessarily be around them and providing for them, even though they don't ask for it. They may genuinely just want that space, and when they're not being productive or when they did have a hard day, maybe opposed to a regular Capricorn who would just sit there and seem as if everything's okay but really be dying inside, they might really be okay inside. And the Aquarius might have that understanding with them. And so when they have hard times or in a struggle, they might just want to chill out or separate from each other or sit down together quietly. Everyone has their thing and every sign has their thing. So with so many things going on in one individual's chart, there's a lot of ways to be problem-oriented. Solution-oriented rather, or problem-oriented, I guess. But essentially, like, I think this can work. I think any relationship could work, but I think this can work because outside, right, meaning outside of their immediate home environment, an Aquarius is a humanitarian, and they're going to be very cool with most people because they're funny, they like to have fun, and they don't stress you about things. Capricorn always wants to seem like they're on their best behavior. They want to seem the most professional, the most social in the social environment. If they see it as getting them to their place of success, then they will be whatever they need to be in order to do so. So being that the Aquarius will be outside a lot, meeting different types of people and connecting on so many different levels, if the Capricorn is their road dog and riding right beside them, that Capricorn is going to get exposed to so many other things and meet so many other people that they might find success because they will know how to operate in those environments because it'll help them get to their destination. Capricorn and Aquarius can be a great couple. Once again, I just have to keep repeating this. Any two signs in a relationship can make a great couple. It's all about the work and effort you're willing to put into the relationship and truly understanding your partner. That's what it's really about, and then communicating. So if I had to say the things to focus on in a relationship in general, just understanding, communication, and acceptance. And once we can master those, then everybody's compatible. You feel me? Everybody. But let's just focus back on Aquarius and Capricorn for right now. And depending on the other elements, the other aspects of their chart, this can be a great relationship because they both are on the wiser side of the zodiac signs. Capricorn is very diligent and persistent in their work and understands through effort you will succeed. And Aquarius understands that life is much deeper than one individual or one microorganism. So they both have an understanding that the world is beyond them. They just operate differently within that, but that may be good. The Aquarius may be a little bit more rebellious, eclectic, and have a yearning more for education and knowledge, while the Capricorn is more hardworking, more steady, more slow-paced, but both are very determined in their efforts. Some to save the world, some to save their mortgage, but you can see how that could be effective in one household. So, really it's all about the individuals. If the Aquarius has a lot of earth in their chart and a lot of fire and maybe a lot of water, then this Aquarius may be very physical and the Capricorn won't have any problems. Or the Capricorn may have a lot of air in their chart. Or, or maybe has a Sagittarius moon or Venus. Then this Capricorn may be less concerned with the physical and be more, in their heads. So it really depends on the other aspects of the chart. I keep saying that as well, but ultimately this couple can work. As long as you guys truly understand what each other wants, and Aquarius, you understand that the Capricorn may not be able to move the way you want, but remember, you like that. You like people being unique and people being themselves. And Capricorn, remember, yes, the Aquarius may be different, you may not understand, but you can rely on them to be themselves all the time at least, and to be genuine to that. And you appreciate that. And remember, you're the hard worker, so if they're not working as hard, but they're complimenting you in other aspects, that's okay. That's balance. You know what I mean? And you know that it requires balance to get somewhere. So if you guys can understand each other and really just communicate, then I think this relationship is one for the making. So enjoy and love each other. But if you like this video, then subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Sounds Entertainment. This is just the beginning. We got films and all of that coming very, very soon. But anyway, so like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one. Peace.